Communications are still down in Iran after a crackdown on protesters earlier this week. This means videos from the protests and the crackdown by the Iranian government are slow to come out, preventing the true scale of that crackdown from being known. Iran's exiled crown prince, Reza Pahlavi, held a news conference this morning saying the current regime is lying about the slaughter ending, and he added the Islamic Republic will fall. It's just a matter of when. He also asked the international community for help.
Today, I ask the world to do 6 things. First, protect the Iranian people by degrading the regime's repressive capacity, including targeting the Islamic Revolutionary Guard leadership and its command and control infrastructure. Second, deliver and sustain maximum economic pressure on the regime, block their assets worldwide, target and dismantle their fleet of ghost tankers. Third, break through the regime's information blockade by enabling unrestricted internet access. Deploy Starlink and other secure communications tools widely across Iran, and conduct cyber operations to disable the regime's ability to shut down the internet. Fourth, hold the regime accountable by expelling its diplomats from your capitals and pursue legal enforcement actions against those responsible for crimes against humanity. Fifth, demand the immediate release of all political prisoners. Sixth, prepare for a democratic transition in Iran by committing to recognize a legitimate transitional government when the moment comes.
And now let's bring in BBC correspondent Hugo Bachega live from Armenia for us today. Hugo, thank you for joining us. What do we know about the situation in Iran right now?
Yeah, so there's still this internet blackout, so it is very difficult to get a clear picture of what is happening inside Iran right now. And obviously we cannot report from inside the country because of restrictions that have been imposed by the Iranian authorities. But the information that is coming out, and this is also the assessment of officials outside Iran, is that no large protests are being held, and also that the pace, the rate of the killings of protesters by the security forces has dropped. And that is happening because of this internet shutdown, but also because of the brutality, the violence of the security forces in this crackdown on this anti-government demonstration. So people are terrified to join this protest. So that gives you an idea of the situation right now in Iran. So here in Armenia, we are very close to the border with Iran, and earlier today we met a group of people who had crossed the border into Armenia. They talked about this internet blackout, how it was impossible for them to talk to relatives and friends in other parts of the world outside Iran. One of them also mentioned a very heavy security presence in the capital, Tehran, and there have been reports of mass arrests as well. So that gives you a sense of the crackdown that has happened in Iran. It is very difficult to get a clear number of how many people have been killed, but one human rights organization, the Human Rights Activist News Agency, has said that they've managed to confirm at least 2,600 people who've been killed in this crackdown by the authorities.
Hugo, several key U.S. allies in the Middle East, they push to avoid a conflict between the U.S. and Iran over these protests. So what are we hearing at this hour?
Yeah, this is very interesting because for days there has been, this wait to see what President Trump was going to do. He obviously had threatened to hit Iran very hard if protesters were killed, but no action has been taken. And it does seem that the president has, walked away from his threats to strike Iran militarily, at least for now. And it seems that there was a huge effort by Arab countries, countries that were very concerned about the possible impact of any kind of American military action against Iran, the possibility of a wider regional conflict, and a possible Iranian retaliation. There was also the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who apparently asked President Trump to delay any kind of military action. Now, obviously, President Trump is unpredictable. It is very difficult to say whether this is a decision to cancel, to delay, a potential American strike, or if this is, part of a strategy to buy time, to confuse people, to allow military assets to arrive in the region for a possible military strike, for military attacks against Iran. But, Trump officials continue to say that all options are on the table for the president.
Okay, BBC correspondent Hugo Bachega, thank you for your time today.